Okay, this is Will Mooney. I just want to spit a few ideas for what Obama was talking about with addressing independent industry in America, and a few random and good ideas for like you know where that could go. Um, First one, like take Detroit. There's investors coming in, knocking down abandoned buildings, and building like farms or whatever. Hopefully no scanner darkly shit, but I'm kidding. But why not Obama housing? You've seen people take old. There's one in my city, a house built from recycled materials. Why not sponsor? Uh, in cities like Detroit, in cities like Baltimore, you know, uh, in DC, like inner city DC, like recycled, thermally efficient, uh, electrically efficient, uh, you know, hydraulically efficient uh, housing sections for people that would immediately want to move in and do things like work and go to college and stuff like that. Like in Detroit, you have the state of Michigan coming and taking over, you know, a city that in its finances, economically, will, you know, like one time in like 2012, I was somewhere and this guy asked me for $20 and I happened to have $20 and I was like, well, magic. Like I want like this $20 like save Detroit, like somehow symbolically like a prayer or whatever. And then in comes just coincidentally in comes like the government. But I was like spitting more like, okay, why not investors from around the world sort of uh, uh, sponsor programs like Obama housing or you know green uh, vegetation, vegetables for people to eat, like, and go to the Detroit farmers market and have healthy foods to eat, like broccoli and rice and fish and stuff like that. Um, Other thing, why are people going to jail for smoking weed? It's just a plant. Like people don't get cancer, they live longer, they have no asthma, but you've got people in handcuffs. Like, do you think if weed was legal, there would be as much crack, as much cocaine, as much heroin? Like, there'd be less drinking. Like, I don't understand why people are going to jail for it. That's a side issue. Like, you know, why not? We're talking about independent industry. Why not talk about, um, fine, like let the oil men sort of have cars or have that work in that dynamic, but why not? Yeah, Obama's like, all right, let's do it, and then he just says like, okay, now we're having an electric car industry for GM and Chrysler that works better than any gasoline car, you know, and like I was talking to someone, it's like, well, like fuck electric car, we got like this cybergenetic, just like kidding, like fusion engine, like probably in California they have something better than just an electrical engine, better than like a grease engine, but what about uh, those people in these if you watch Thrive, they show you how they build it. There's one down like in the general area of the downtown of my city, like how they build these houses. Like, okay, you want to go to college? Like, uh, we'll have like the public works program of the 1910s or whatever. After the Great Depression, like we'll have like the ability to go to college and learn in learn skills that support industries that would make uh, countries like America, why not Britain, have some of these, like, just have have people learn the skills they want to learn, and go to the market and thrive. Like, why not have in France, like, language programs of Arabic for the French, or like in preserving culture of the Arabs in Europe, and then have people uh, learning about each other, and keeping what they hold sacred, but in exchange among cultures, instead of this, like this just doesn't work. And why not have, like, programs for all these poor black uh, people in our inner cities to learn things like, you know, where were my ancestors in Africa long ago, and why not have language programs for uh, you know uh, for students to learn their heritage, and like, would that not inspire people and make them kind of, foster, you know a great spirit of what America really stands for, that these elite, like, so-called elites, like, high, because of their royal bloodlines or whatever, like, even they say, like, we stand as equal as men and women. Like, it's not about having a holy bloodline or whatever, or a special bloodline. Why not turn the British invasion into something, amicable for uh, for everyone? And just like, yeah, like, call Prince William, like, he'll sponsor, like, thermal housing, like, geodynamic, like, earth house, like, in, like, I was about to say Hampton, but like, there's got to be like a British ham, something ham, Rotterdam. In Rotterdam, I'm kidding. I don't know really, but like, and then the French on the side, like, yeah, like, we remember the American Revolution, like, yeah, we'll do a little something. Like, we're not arguing about Iraq, like, you know, and what else could we do? We could do more, like, immediately practical things, like the Obama housing, the uh, you know fun curriculum for our schools to have, like, uh, less, like, fluff curriculum, more like toned into what each student wants to learn, and, and do as a professional, And I don't think it would be as corrupt or like underworld driven if things like weed were legal, if we had, like, buses for people that were drinking. Like, yeah, like, the city I live in has party buses. Like, you're going home, you're not driving. What about like what else could we do? Uh, Fund, like, would the Obama housing, the more dynamic education programs where the curriculum would be more tailored to what the student wants to learn, with all the computers available. You know, what could you go on and just learn because you want to, and because, I think naturally people would gravitate towards more individual things and sort of become better, you know, better tradesmen. What about, like, fuck it, like, now in these housing programs, or in the city, like, you want to learn, like, an old language, like Akkadian, like old Swahili, old Welsh, like, like old Hebrew, old Aramaic, like fuck it, we're dropping bombs, like me and Nas or whatever, like just like we're just dropping knowledge, like we're like you might like like understand symbols better and just sort of whatever, like those were supposedly like hand things and runes, like or old, like how like old Akkadian and Mesopotamian and Druidic and even African, that's not often known, had writing systems. It's like, fuck it, we're dropping knowledge, and like how to deal with the current dynamic of like, well, the oil, like we gotta keep these like shitty cars, like aside from the sports cars, like in our cities, like we'll let them sort of do that, but then have like, oh yeah, like we have like super efficient electric cars just that happen to beat on every level of performance the gasoline cars, or like we're not gonna be like, oh, we'll make a highway, like so like why not make Detroit an example of like what many cities around the world could turn around, and why not have like I think even people like Obama, people like George Bush are down. Like why did George Bush make like the fake like rap like like thing in his speech, like he's saying like this nigga like spit, like you like spit, like stand up, like speak your mind. The common person as well as the people in high places, like I think they ultimately in the like osmosis of the universe or whatever, like hear each other, like let's hear this dude. Cash is expensive, Is it like, I don't know, it's on SoundCloud, it's by Rhyme Say is Beyond. Well, he says like there is a way to eat healthy. There is a way to speak your mind. Like he starts off with some introductions into like let's respect each other basically and be students of life. Like he says something about the angel of death. Like when I take my last breath at the end, like I was like, whoa, dude, like just on a personal level, like the angel of death is not like something putrid or decadent, it's like angayify those words, like say like it's something beautiful, that's always been a modus of slang and rap, the kind of like, it's like blues, but this is, so Ron says beyond cash is expensive. Now something else I want to talk about, like the women are selling sex, like, you know, in high society, like people get split open, like, you know, emotionally to get to feed like these higher up bosses or whatever that want to get off in like weird ways, you know, like why not say things like, you know, yada 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 to those people and like, you know, stop the cycle of abuse, you know, at high levels, you know, and at the street level too, you know, their street level, our street level, everyone's street level. Um, why not, like, what else? You know, why not say like you're not like let's not figure like hypnotized slaves to these like radio hosts that are in the game too that need to do that, or like we're not like slaves to like, you know, this water of drunkenness that keeps us like coming back for more because it's like a hobby. It's like smoking for me. It's like, you know, we're gonna like, you know, do an interview and then quit going on the bus, you know. Like, you know, that's like I gotta step in there for what I can do, you know, and so what else? Like I think if we started focusing more on the relationship aspect of our lovers and our family instead of like just a quick not bust or quick like whatever, like, then we could start working on that, you know. In terms of like we have, you know, like in terms of change, we have uh, a bit of a paranoia, like, you know, like churches put like radio things in their crosses or their steeples or whatever, or like, you know, whatever, like just shit that would seem scary. But what about John F. Kennedy? What about, you know, there's videos online of like, oh, the architects of control, like all that, like showing you like cameras everywhere, blah blah blah. But why not talk about like instead of getting fearful and we have like John F. Kennedy said, not that we fear, but that like, you know, fear can be sort of just a distraction. You wouldn't go to a giant worldly meeting, even at the lowest level, like a community meeting, and just be like, fuck this, like, angel of death, or, no, that sounds like I love you, but like, and just be like, throwing tables. No, you'd like sit there and like, what can we do? You know, like this, like right now. So, uh, what about, you know, it's not like I think books like 1984, books like Animal Farm, sort of like through in War of the Worlds, sort of like said like, okay, like no, that's not actually gonna happen because it's like you paint like I had a dream when I was a little kid, just this horrible monster, and I'm like, well, I thought of it, now I'm not gonna dream about it. Sort of like that, like eliminating, you know, by highlighting like the worst possible case, like what, you know, now in reality hasn't really happened. So, um, like I want to hear, like I'm gonna go on YouTube and see what the Prince of Wales has to say. Like Obama's already speaking on issues like independent industry, the Constitution, uh, viable, you know, solutions for things like not getting stuck in a broken Congress, like broken, but like uh, a a Congress that just says like, okay, now it's Republicans' turn, now it's Democrats' turn, and we're just like slowly like doing an old man dance, like not actually doing anything, but like you know, not, not getting to the stuff that Obama was talking about. And I think Obama's down. I think George Bush is down. Like I think the Prince of Wales is down. I think Ellie Goulding's down. I don't know. I just hear him because I like her music. I think like uh, I think like everyone can speak their voice. The things like Obama housing in Detroit, like the farms, like spend the money like rich investors. You will find a growing American industry. You will find like a renaissance of like a neo-renaissance or whatever we can come up with a better name for it of or you can of our knowledge just expanding. Like, what do you say? Like, you want to learn any language? Like, here's like the vowel keys towards like understanding, like you know, like deep shit, and then drop apples, drop like jewels of knowledge, and like he was saying in that rap, like stand for your kids, like you don't want like you want the best for your kids, you want the best for those you love and care for. And I think I don't know. That's my video. This is my loud, like like important, like hoodie. Like watch this. No, so like it's ruthless art actually. Like they threw paint on it. Like I'm like avenging like or rectifying like, the supposed sins of like extradited people or whatever in this. Like I'm kidding, but like